Hey guys, so it is morning time right now, and I was going to try to start my day. It's probably around like 9 something right now. I got up at like 4 a.m. this morning. Did not feel like getting out of bed, unfortunately. But I kind of wanted to talk about something while I make coffee. My coffee pot is over there. I already had some coffee, but I'm going to make more. So, basically, I've been thinking about, the way I perceive myself and how we call ourselves unattractive. And it doesn't necessarily mean like anything completely negative. When someone says they're unattractive, it could be said with an acceptance. But personally, I feel like me in the state that I am in right now, which is recovery, I feel like calling myself unattractive is probably not the best thing that I can do for myself right now. Hold that thought. Let me get some water. Fine. But yeah, I've been thinking a lot about it. I have built my channel off of being an unattractive girl. And a lot of you either started watching me, or you currently watch me, or you just found me, because of TikTok or something. Because of that, I understand if some of you might want to leave. But when it comes to my recovery, the most important thing is that I am okay with myself and that I don't perceive myself in a negative light. And unfortunately, when it comes to labeling yourself as things, the word ugly and the word unattractive have negative connotations in our society, of course. Now, I personally feel like the word ugly and the word unattractive can be used. Just when it comes to calling myself words like that, I am never using them in a positive way. I'm never using them in a way that's like I accept myself for who I am, because every time I say those words, I feel like I'm disparaging myself. And unfortunately, that does a number on my self-esteem after a while of saying it over and over again. So, to people who are here because of my videos about being an unattractive girl, my stance has changed. Not necessarily about my experiences, because my experiences will always be there. Will always be me feeling unattractive, but when it comes to my perspective on myself and my body, my perspective has changed in that I think being more kind to myself might actually benefit me in the long run, more so than calling myself ugly and encouraging other people to call me ugly. Because so far, I have been trying that for 2 years, and so far that hasn't worked out for me. But yeah, it's been a long journey on YouTube. Gotta go make coffee. Delicious. I love coffee. You know what? I actually just tried pumpkin spice. It's genuinely not good, and that's, I know, an unpopular opinion. But I think it tastes like pumpkin water, and maybe it's just the kind that I had. I had the creamer, the cold creamer. Quite literally is not the best, but that different people have different, tastes. personally, I'm not a fan of it. But if you guys are, that's perfectly fine. It is what it is. I just don't really like it. My favorite creamer is just standard French vanilla. And sometimes I'll mix it up with a little bit of chocolate. I do non-dairy creamer, not because I'm a vegan or a vegetarian, but because I don't like when my coffee gets cold. Not a fan of cold coffee. I only like hot coffee. Which is why I don't get frappuccinos or anything like that. It's not really my thing. Oh. Right. Here in a moment, once my coffee is ready, I will sit down. But currently, gotta make it the exact way that I like it. Not too strong. But to all of you who are new to my channel, I don't really do anything crazy with my videos. For the most part, I just kind of hang out and exist and talk about body dysmorphia, talk about my experiences as a woman who is seen by society possibly as unattractive, or someone who struggles with insecurities and things like that. That's really all this is about. I don't really do vlogging or anything. More of just like a personal, maybe it's just a personal vlog rather than going outside and doing all this stuff. Because I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I don't get out enough. I mean, a few times a week. And since my ankles have been healing, I've been walking, but they're still not good enough for me to be able to run or really go for long walks. So unfortunately, for the most part, I am stuck inside. I cannot go on hilly grass, so I can't really go for a walk in the yard because our yard is really hilly and has a lot of rough dirt, stones. I don't want to risk rolling my ankle right now. But yeah, honestly, today I felt really insecure about how I looked, so I put on my band-aids, which you guys can obviously see. I know I said before that I would try to use them less. Some days when I wake up though, I feel really bad, and that's, you know, probably why I use them in the morning more often, because when I wake up I feel absolutely disgusting. Honestly, I don't really have a lot to talk about right now. I will say there are a few things that I've seen in the comments that I haven't really addressed or anything. So people come to my channel and they think I'm trolling, right? My channel would be a hell of a troll if that were true, because I've been doing this for 2 years and I have been on and off, in recovery, out of recovery, eating disorders. Like, that would be one hell of a troll. That's all I have to say. Sorry if the coffee is too loud. It's an old coffee maker. To be honest, it's interesting that people are saying that. In a way, it makes me think like, well, maybe I don't look that bad because people are saying I'm trolling about having body dysmorphia. In another way, it's like, why don't you believe me? God, like, what do I have to do to make people understand how severe body dysmorphia can be? But honestly, most people seem to understand. That is so loud. I'm sorry. It's not like a Keurig or anything. It's just a bubbling thing. I think I found it at like a garage sale or something. It's really old. But yeah. honestly, at this point, you guys understand that I do have body dysmorphia and that I'm not coming on here just without it, preaching about things that I know nothing about. I've lived it for years now. I don't wear band-aids on my face because they're fun. I mean, of course I mix it up and use colorful ones and things like that, but I'm not out here just doing things for the heck of it, you know? I'm not on here telling people that I'm in agony for the heck of it, you know? I mean, that's just not how it is. And I understand if you think that because some people just don't know what it looks like, I think. Body dysmorphia comes in so many different flavors, colors, whatever you want to call it. Every person with body dysmorphia is unique. Sometimes their symptoms don't match up with other people's symptoms. And that's okay, right? We're not all the same. That's perfectly fine. But at the end of the day, I think when people are looking at someone and just based off of their looks, they're like, you don't have this disability, you don't have this mental illness. That's not really helpful. I don't understand why people do that. I do have several mental illnesses. You know, I mean, I could talk about them further, but you know, I don't think that they necessarily define me as a person. They're just a facet of my life that make my life a bit more difficult. But I do have body dysmorphia. That's a fact. I have been diagnosed, if you guys are wondering. I have had people like comment like, oh, have you ever been diagnosed, or are you just assuming? Well, for one, I did assume that I had body dysmorphia. That's why I went out and had someone evaluate me, a therapist evaluate me. And they did deem that I do have body dysmorphia. I am in CBT. I have been doing body dysmorphia, problem solving, coping skills, everything under the sun. So I do have body dysmorphia, and I am in recovery for it. I am working on it. And that looks different for me than for other people. So just because I don't come out and I'm like, oh God, woe is me, blah, 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 I'm so beautiful, but I have body dysmorphia. It doesn't look like that for everyone. Not everyone can be a model with body dysmorphia. Some people are just regular. They're just regular people with regular flaws, and they just exist, and they have problems, mental issues like everyone else. In a minute, I'll probably talk a little bit more about body dysmorphia after I get my coffee, but for right now, honestly, I feel like a lot of people don't understand that body dysmorphia is a subset of OCD. Like, what I mean by that is body dysmorphia is characterized by obsession, body obsession. That oftentimes just manifests in constant checking of yourself in mirrors, constant picking of your hair, picking of your scalp, picking of your skin, addicted to things like plastic surgery. It's a form of OCD. It's not exactly like, you know how everyone with OCD is different. Everyone with body dysmorphia is different, right? So think of it like a compulsion, something that's very, very hard to stop. You get into your little routines, you get into your little things that you have to do. Beauty routines are a big one. People feel like they'll look hideously disgusting and they'll never go out unless they put on makeup or unless they do their skincare routine like 10 times a day. And it's like, that is body dysmorphia coupled with OCD. It's OCD, it's a subset of OCD. But yeah, a lot of people don't understand that, which is fine. Not everyone can understand everything. That's why we need to be taught these things. And that's why I feel like it would be good if there were more people on this platform who showcased what it was like living with body dysmorphia, because aren't that many that I've seen who represent a majority of people. The only real big videos that I've seen on it are from content creators who don't have it themselves and are just explaining what it is, or are criticizing models, Or models who are talking about their body dysmorphia, and everyone in the comments is like, oh, you're perfect, you shouldn't have it. And it's like, one, even perfect, beautiful people can have it. Two, not everyone who's conventionally attractive, not everyone can have body dysmorphia. Sorry. Not everyone with body dysmorphia is conventionally attractive. There we go. And that's something that I try to talk about on my channel, because I am not a conventional looking girl for the most part. I don't consider myself to be. And I know a lot of people would be like, oh, well, you're not that bad looking. It's okay. I understand where you're coming from. That's perfectly fine. From my perspective, whether or not it's flawed, I look a certain way. I honestly... There's another thing that I kind of want to address. Like, ultimately, what do I want, right? People asking me really what is your goal? My goal is to be happy, to be content with my body, and to not obsess. No, I don't want to be a 10 out of 10 model. I think there are different bad things that come with that, and that's not what I want. Sorry, my camera's angled all funky. My hair is not brushed. I apologize for that. But put chocolate in my coffee. I don't want to be a 10 out of 10 model. Who cares about that? I want to feel normal, even if my looks don't change. Because what it comes down to is your brain, chemistry, changing those neural pathways so that you are more accepting of change, accepting of your body. Because, guys, your body will always change. As much as we might want our bodies to stay the same size and the same, face, I mean, we change constantly. Every second we're changing. And even though it's very slow, I recognize change. And I'm sure a lot of you who are super insecure about something recognize when you're changing, your body is changing. I think we need to find a way to accept it before there comes a time when something traumatic happens. For me, I did have, so the catalyst for my body dysmorphia, right, was a traumatic happening with my orthodontist. I used to be a very fun-loving person a few years ago when I was a teenager. I'm 23 now. I turned 23 in May. And really what I want is to get back to that point where I'm just bursting with happiness and energy and health and just revitalized, That's what I want. That's my goal. I don't need to be perfect. I just need to be happy. Just being honest. This coffee is so, absolutely spot on delicious. Color of my coffee is like, if I can even show it to you without spilling it, it's like darkish brown. It tastes like a hot chocolate and like a coffee combined, and it is like heavenly. Is absolutely like completely heavenly. Sometimes just sitting and, well, sometimes what I like to do is take my coffee outside and just sit out there and just listen to the birds and everything. Of course, it's going to be winter soon and the birds are going to probably all migrate. But it's nice while it lasts to listen. Let me think of some other things to talk about that you guys have asked me. When did my body dysmorphia begin? Began when I was probably, I would say I've always had insecurities, but my body dysmorphia began when I was 20. Like, I was insecure about my teeth when I was a kid, but I could still go outside. I could still talk to people. I could still perform at my jobs and things like that. But now, when I hit about 20 and I got my teeth removed, it really affected me to a point where I just stayed inside for months and I wouldn't go outside. And it was bad. And I'm coming to try to accept my face. But there are things in life that we all regret. And getting my teeth extracted, my 4 premolars and my 4 wisdom teeth, 8 teeth total, healthy, getting those extracted will forever haunt me for the rest of my life. And it's a great loss that I've suffered because it did affect me and my face. And I know it doesn't sound that serious, but when you're a young girl, when you're 20 years old, you're just coming into yourself. You don't really know what you want. You think you're going to, sprout and go to college and do all these things, and suddenly you're unattractive and you feel unattractive and people are treating you badly and you just want to hide in your shell. That's kind of what it was like, I guess, for me. And I was so alone because I didn't have anyone, but I'm not as alone anymore. Oh, this is so good. I know some of you are really alone too. At this point, there's hair in my mouth. Good thing I have 8 cats, right? Yes, I'm a crazy cat lady. Good thing that I guess we kind of have each other in a way, because you guys can vent in my comment section all you want. And yeah. I don't normally sit in the kitchen. I'm either in my room or outside, but it's probably better in here because at least there's some better natural light this morning. Let me think if there's anything else that I can talk about before I get off here. Because we're already running at 23 minutes and I don't want to take up too much of your guys' time this morning. Let's see. I don't know that I can think of anything else really. I mean, I've talked about my coping strategies, I believe. Getting up, actually taking the time to just kind of sit and enjoy things. Sit and enjoy life, sit and enjoy music, sit and enjoy a video, a podcast, anything, a distraction, something to take your mind away from it. When you have racing thoughts, like I do, people with OCD also have this. Distraction is a big thing that you can use. It's a big coping skill. It's not always going to work, of course, but it does help. Breathing techniques, I learned this one that I do personally like. So you basically just clench your feet, right? And when you're having some sort of issue in your life, or you're overwhelmed, you have anxiety, feel a panic attack coming on, feel your surroundings, right? Clench your fists, take a deep breath, hold it, and then a few seconds later, let it go. Build up that tension in your fists or your feet. I personally do it in my toes. You could do it in your legs. You could do it in your chest. Sometimes people will go inwards with their chest. So just holding it for a few seconds, as long as you can without, of course, being lightheaded or passing out. I do it for like 5 seconds, but it does help in the heat of the moment. Of course, it's like, there's some other things that you can do, like name 5 things you can see, 5 things you can smell, 5 things you can feel, those kind of things. Those don't usually work for me. Everything is different for everyone. Some things will work for you, some things won't. Other coping strategies: buying my favorite foods, and petting my cats, and keeping myself busy, basically. Hanging out with friends is another one. If you can't find friends, I understand that. I've been through the same exact thing. There are some cool discords, like make new friends here and meet people that are good for personally my mental health, because I have met a few friends off of there. Just be wary, obviously it's online, so, but honestly, I think that's really all for right now, guys. I just it's so good. That coffee's like actually some of the best coffee ever. I just wanted to just chat a little bit, and just address some stuff, talk about some things I've been feeling. But I appreciate you guys spending this morning with me, and I'll probably be uploading again tomorrow. Been kind of on like an uploading streak lately. I've only uploaded like 2 videos, but I did take like a month break almost, so I will be uploading probably more regularly, hopefully. But give me video ideas, because I will appreciate them. If you want me to talk more, if you want me to talk less, if you want me to show you different things, if you want me to do a personal accounts, things like that, I don't mind. Thank you guys for watching and spending this morning with me, though. See ya.